Welcome, Ninja Nations, to a bonus Car Chronicles reviews with Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, or just a third of the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. Myself, Scooter Lou, and I'm here with my co-worker, Sweet Disaster. Say hi to the people. And we are here to discuss Scream 6. So we went to go see it earlier today, and she took mad notes. Like mid movie, she was taking notes, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. So this will be full of spoilers. It might be all over the place. Who knows? But
yeah, mega spoilers. So if you're gonna watch the movie first, then watch this because I'm mad into the spoilers and the twists and all that good stuff.
Well, I guess first things first. How did you feel about the movie?
Honestly, as someone who's watched a lot of horror movies, I thought this one was pretty alright.
Okay.
You know, there's like so many cliches and horrors that like go into horror movies, and sometimes it's overplayed and it's like super predictable and boring.
Yes.
But no, this one kept you on the edge of your seat, and it played with those cliches. It was meta but not cringe.
Yes, it was. It made sense in the series of Scream. If I say Stab, which is the movie within, but it made series in the line of Scream. Like it didn't try to do anything that goes outside of Scream. Like it didn't do anything weird like what Halloween Ends. Like how Halloween Ends had that whole Michael Myers taking on an apprentice type thing.
Oh no, I haven't even seen that.
Don't see it.
Okay.
It's trash. But yeah. So it didn't do anything. I'll tell you about it later. It didn't do anything weird like that. It was a straightforward, and it played into the tropes. And like she said, it was meta, and it wasn't too silly, wasn't too goofy.
And you know, that's always been a thing with the Scream franchise. They've always kind of like played with tropes ever since the first movie, where they were like, okay, this is what happens in a scary movie because there's like a scary movie fanatic. So it's always done that. In case you're wondering if that was anything new, but they didn't overplay it. They actually made it like super entertaining.
Yes.
Still scary because it's a horror movie, but
yeah. Thoughts on the kills?
You know what? Okay, major spoilers in case you haven't already known. But like, so in the beginning of the movie, they're all like, you know what? Everything is off the table because we're in a sequel of a remake or something like that.
A sequel to a requel.
There we go. That's what they said, a requel. And they're like, everyone's fair game. Like anyone can die. Like even the stars aren't like immune to it. But the kills in it were only like small role characters or like the side throwaway characters. I call them the side characters.
Yeah, like almost every throwaway character died except for one.
Did they? Because it was like the main four, right?
The only quote unquote throwaway character that didn't die was the sister's love interest.
Oh yeah, he was new, wasn't he?
He was new to the whole thing. He was the only throwaway character that didn't die.
I love how in the Scream trope, it's always like it's the boyfriend that did it kind of deal, and so it leads you to like thinking, are they going to do that or are they not? But yeah,
I'm glad they didn't. I'm totally glad they didn't because I never suspected him. So that's why I was like, if the reveal would have happened and he was, I would have been like, come on. You don't have to make it that cliche, but I'm glad they didn't.
Love letter to the franchise. Just putting that out there.
And what she was saying in the beginning was crazy because it played into the trope of woman getting a phone call. She leaves the restaurant. She walks down an alley.
A dark alley on the phone saying, oh my gosh, are you there? Hey, come closer. Like, well, he didn't say that, but like it made it implied. And then it was like, you really just did that, you stupid.
Yeah. She gets murdered.
Yeah.
Then takes the mask off. It's Flash Thompson from Spider-Man. So right there, we see, damn, killer right there.
I know. Okay, I was disappointed when I saw that because I actually thought, oh my gosh, are we gonna know the killer's face this whole time? Yeah. Because that would have been different, but
it would have been very different to know that he was the killer. But he goes home. He looks for his roommate. He gets a phone call. He's thinking it's the roommate trying to practice as they was doing because they were super fans of Richie from 5, and they had to finish the movie. And then boom, he finds his roommate chopped up in the fridge and he dies.
Which
And
is
it was
new.
like, oh shit, wait.
And I was beyond satisfied with that. I'm like, okay, cool. This is a twist I really like. And usually, oh my gosh, twists.
Yeah.
The twists are so overplayed in horror movies, but again, the twists in this one.
All right, so let's talk about these notes.
All right, these notes. All right,
Because these notes are new to me, so I don't know what's in these notes either. So what you got first up?
All right, so like the first thing I noted, like in there, was that this whole movie was like literally a love letter to all of the other Scream movies.
Facts.
Most notably, the lair scene when they got to the place where,
yes,
again, spoilers. I can't stop saying that, but
well, no, they kind of showed it in the trailer. If you've seen the trailer, they kind of show it, but they went in depth. And what she's saying is there was an old abandoned movie theater, and when you walk in there, there's everything from the previous 5.
Down to like the clothing the victims wore, down to the knife that and down to every single costume.
The masks, the costumes, the knives.
It's incredible.
The weapons they use, the sketches.
Yes, someone did sketches of every of like the main characters of each of the ones.
Broken TV that was thrown on Stu's face. Like all of these things were in this movie theater like a shrine, and it was like, that's impressive to collect all of that.
Because like in real life, I don't know if anyone is able to do that with any kind of serial killer.
Unless
like,
you got stupid money.
Exactly. So like in a movie sense, that's why it's like a super big love letter, because it was just showing. It's like a museum.
Yes, basically it was a museum. It was a museum of murder. The MOM. Museum of Murder.
Oh, and there was this one part where Gail, is she Monica from Friends?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just check. It was bothering me all day. Anyway, so when she was passing by and then she saw who was it?
Dewey.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay, I actually watched a recap just to see. And Dewey was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I was actually surprised. So they saw Dewey. It had like Dewey's like shirt or something of his, and
when he died in the hospital in 5.
Exactly, and she was just staring like forlornly.
Well, we know they were married in the series, and then we saw in between 4 and 5 they got divorced and everything.
But they still kind of cared about each other.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, that hit deep, like just the backgrounds of it all. But yeah, the love letter to the series.
All right, what's up? What's next on these notes?
Okay, this is just a random one, but like, okay, for anyone who's ever watched loves watching Netflix series, there's the Peaky Blinders. Their theme music going in and out of every episode. They decided to use that in the Scream movie, and it just threw me for a loop. I was suddenly transported from a horror to a comedy, murdery. Comedy.
Because I never seen Peaky Blinders, I can't.
So when the music kept going, and I thought it was kind of weird that they played that music when like the climax had ended, where they had killed the final foe. I thought that was kind of weird, but I guess it fits if you've never seen it. But yeah. I literally wrote song from Peaky Blinders threw me off. Okay, so you know how the Scream movies always gone a little bit like meta?
Yes.
They went full on meta, but not in the cringe way. I wanted to talk about that. So literally, towards the beginning, the group of friends have a meeting, and they're literally talking about how scary movies work, but that this was a requel or a sequel of a reboot. That like everything is off the table.
Even main characters could die. It was like, anybody can be a suspect, especially new to the friend group. Then it was like anybody could die, whether you're a legacy character, whether you think you're the main star, anybody can die. So hearing the rules break down again, because we heard it in 1 with oh my God, I just forgot his name.
Oh no, what's his name? No, I know him because he was like in 1 through 3.
Because he's their uncle, Randy.
Wait, he was their uncle?
Yeah, Randy, the twins, the black and the 2 black siblings, they're twins. And and he's their uncle. So when she said the rules in 5, she remixed it again in 6.
And that's nice that it was her that did it because of her uncle being the horror film fanatic. It just made sense. And it kind of like led the audience to a tone of like what we were gonna expect, but they kind of just didn't go with it actually, because in a good way though, because they said they expected a lot more people to die, like from the main cast and from the legacy characters, but no, surprisingly none of them did. Which even though we thought they did, you'd be surprised what
it was it was a couple of them that looked a little sketchy. Like it didn't look good for a couple of them, but
I'm surprised he lived after getting double teamed.
him and Gail, both of them, Chad and Gail.
Saying, I'm like, she got stabbed twice.
And then not only that, but we're also looking at a Gail that's older. So
I'm surprised. Like, okay,
yeah,
I thought this was gonna be the scene, like the time where she's like, ends it, because like
Yeah.
that would be a good way to,
especially with Dewey dying.
exactly,
In the fifth one. Yeah.
and then getting out of the series in case the actress wanted to be like, I'm done, peace out. They gave her a good fighting chance because she's been tried. Ugh, what do you say it? She's been almost murdered like what, 5 times? Like
First one, can't remember the second one. I can't remember the third.
No, she did.
Fourth, kinda. Fifth for sure. Her and Sydney took an ass kicking in 5.
So like in all 6 movies.
So, but almost in all of them, she was fighting for her life.
So she's had experience. So it made sense that her fight scene was actually like longer and harder to kill because she's done this before 5 other times.
Like the most gangster shit she did was while the killer was talking. She goes, "Hold on, right quick." She hangs up on the killer. His redial. Here's the phone on the other side of the door, and just blow.
And then shoots it.
So
I love that part. I love how I was like, "What, can you please hold?" And he was like, "What?" And then it cut off.
Yeah, she's like, "Wait, hold on, wait, what?" Like even the killer, wait, what? But all right, what you got next?
I fully expected her to die, but okay.
I mean, yeah, it said. I mean, the whole surrounding set it up for Gail to die, but nope, she hung on in there.
Okay, and throughout the movie, you're gonna start trying to guess who's screaming, like who's the killer and all that stuff, right? And there's always like one point where you realize, where you're thinking like, that's the killer, that's the person. When that cop, when he's like, "You mess with my family, die," and the way he said it,
he did say it. Like now looking back on it, he did say it very menacingly.
Exactly, and that's when it turned on. And I'm like, oh my god, okay, he's top suspect for me now.
So Chad's roommate, the brother twin, I suspected him. He looked suspicious from jump. I was like, he's one of them.
He was playing the pathetic role, so I'm like, but it's too obvious to make the pathetic character it. So I thought, but like maybe you're like 3rd or 4th on my suspect list, and then
was number 1.
And
he was number 1. Now, at one point, because they definitely tried to throw loops.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, it made it seem like Sam's, I guess you can call him boyfriend, who lived across the hall. They made it seem like at one point it could be him.
I completely forgot there could be more than one, so I was like,
yeah, because remember, in the Scream franchise, only the 3rd one only had one.
I forgot that was like a thing, so it didn't occur to me until later on. Then I'm like, wait,
all of them had 2 killers except for the 3rd one. But yeah. So at one point they tried to throw it off to where it was the brother. I'm not the brother. Sorry, the boyfriend. The boyfriend,
because that's how the Scream thing goes.
Then another point towards they tried to make it seem like it was Kirby. Hayden Panettiere's character from 4. She came back as an FBI agent. She's an FBI agent now. And at one point they made it seem like she could be an accomplice. But the big reveal and the big twist was it was 3.
3 Screams.
That's the first time it was 3. Well, technically 5. If we count the other 2.
What other 2?
The 2 that the family killed. At the beginning, technically it was 5. Yeah.
The posers, the
basically
wannabes,
the posers, yes.
Screams.
So technically the wannabes would have been the 2, but since they was killed, it was a family. It was brother, sister, and the dad who was the cop. The brother was the roommate, and the other sister was the roommate that we thought she was murdered earlier in the movie.
They staged her death.
Like they staged it
with a prosthetic and like fake blood, I guess.
And all in all, it ended up being they were the family to Richie, who got murdered in 5. Which is funny because it's like, y'all mad at me for killing your son who tried to kill me.
Exactly. Like, oh my, okay. Real quick, right here. I was like, wait, hold on. So this person, literally the main character, she is a victim from day 1. Okay, let me talk about the therapy scene real quick.
Oh yes, that therapy scene was horrible.
Oh my gosh. Okay. As someone who's been to therapists like before, right? So like when she was talking about her trauma from Scream 5, about how she was like, I'm worried about my sister, but like I killed him, and and he's like, why are you here? It's like, oh, because I stabbed him 22 times and slit his throat. And the therapist was like, okay, therapy, you're supposed to keep poker face to not discourage the person from talking. They told me that in the beginning.
Mhm.
So he was like cool.
Yeah,
the whole time he was like,
he was offended. Like
he was like, this is above my pay grade. I'm like, bro, this is your pay grade.
Literally, he said, this is above my pay grade. He's taking notes. And he was like, well, I have to turn this over to the police.
Because she said it felt right. And I'm like, you were tormented by this Scream character for 3 days. And then she finally got rid of the person that was causing you so much trauma. Of course, you're going to feel a little bit of relief.
Hence, that's why he got stabbed in the cheek.
And the therapist totally discredited her, made her feel like, oh, you're a serial killer then for defending yourself and being happy that the guy that was trying to kill you is not going to kill you. And then she just stormed out, rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so. I would have been like, man, fuck you, fuck this session, fuck your practice.
Oh, what a horrible therapist.
And that's why he got stabbed in the cheek.
Look, I'm not an expert with therapy. I've been in sessions. I've seen a couple people. I'm not an expert, but I know that
you ain't supposed to go that way.
You're not supposed to. No, not at all. Man, that made me so pissed.
And so talking with my brother and talking with the other two ninjas. So my brother and I came to the agreement of they need to cut the whole just because her dad was a serial killer, she could be one. But the other two ninjas, Aranya and Boss, especially Aranya, she was saying that there is some type of scientific link that it could happen. That it could, that just because one person was something, it could follow. They can leave it in 6.
Something about people like people whose parents are sociopaths, and not even like a psychopath, sociopath. It means you have a lack of empathy. But people who have that, their kids have a little bit of tendency to sociopath, and that makes them keener to do things that benefit them, i.e., like getting rid of people. Like I can see that. Because
even in the movie, especially when she saw the shrines, and even at the end, she was seeing her dad again, and it's now playing with the themes of, could she potentially switch up? Like, could she potentially be the bad guy at some point? So, but I'm over it. In a sense, like, I'm over the whole, my daddy was a serial killer. Is that going to automatically make me a serial killer? I'm over it.
Like, seriously. Like, if you work in a butchery and you kill a chicken, it's going to suck the first time. And then, yeah, it's easier to kill the second chicken. But that's a chicken. It's like not, oh my gosh, in the beginning they were talking about she became meat. It's like,
yeah.
No, it's not like that. It's just the whole time they villainized, like she was villainized by society.
Yeah, she was villainized. And not only was she villainized by society, but all it took was one person to start a rumor. And from there, it grew legs. Because, like, there was even a part where they was leaving a frat party, random chick threw soda on her,
saying, like, you murderer, you know what you did and all that stuff. But then again, that girl could have been trying, like,
but at the same time, hard. But at the same time, you weren't there.
Yeah, I
know. like this movie takes place in New York. Woodsboro. Was it Woodsboro or Greensboro? Whatever one it is. It's in North Carolina, South Carolina. Like, you wasn't even there.
I get it. It's probably the small town mentality too. Like, when a rumor spreads, it's hard to get rid of it because everyone's set in that. They want to have a villain. They want to have like someone to hate in the store probably. So this whole time she's just getting like demonized, or like, and the therapist discredits her. All the people who she doesn't know discredits her. Even at one point on the news saying this is a prime suspect. By the way, I don't think that was legal. I don't think the news. I don't think the news have like a right to do that unless the police make a formal announcement about it, which they didn't.
Which they did.
And like the whole time it's like, and even towards the end when she had the opportunity to, like, defend herself, they were playing it like, oh, are you going to be a killer now? Like, I was like, dude, it's like stab her. It's like, she's defending herself.
Yeah, because the second to the last person killed was the cop, the dad, and she stabbed him all up in the arms and kind of left him rendered. And she had the knife, and it was like, is she going to be murdery? And then her sister walks in, and they kind of look at each other, and her sister was like, man, if you don't go kill that motherfucker.
That's what I thought after everything. It's like, because, like, okay, in that whole fight scene, there was an opportunity where she could have killed one of the brothers, but then the sister was like, hey, come on. And I'm like, no, kill, and then
Yeah,
later on, the situation became worse, and the brother was trying to kill the sister because he wasn't incapacitated.
So basically, what she's trying to hint at was there was plenty of times where they was fighting Ghostface, and it was never finishing the job.
Okay, no, that's a whole other can of worms.
It was never finished the job. It was literally, I hit you a couple of times. I might even kick you a couple of times, but I'm still run away.
Exactly. Okay, that's a horror movie trope in itself.
It is.
That's always like, oh, the killer, like you're trying to get away more than you're trying to like stop the problem, because I guess you don't want to kill somebody. But like, there were so many times where they could have ended it. Like they hit him, they knocked on him, and they're like, "Let's go," and I'm like, "No,
finish it,
finish it." I get it, horror movie trope, and Scream plays into that very
like
well.
15 minutes.
But like
20, 30 at the most.
But like sometimes it gets frustrating. You're just like, no, murder them. Yeah, all the way up until the end scene where they're just like, I could kill you, and it's like, but I don't want to be a murderer. And then they're like, nah,
kill this motherfucker. And another trope that they did in this, especially in this one, the no selling, to my wrestling fans, the no selling of injuries was amazing to me. People was getting cut, stabbed, everything, and it was like they were good to go.
It's amazing. Literally before the movie, unrelated, we were talking about how much a human could go through, like 127 days, about how
127 hours.
I keep saying days instead of hours, but like we were talking about like how much a human body can like go through. Literally in the news, like today, there was an 88-year-old man stranded in his car with snow, and he literally survived a week in there with croissants, like that he was coming from the store to get, and he was able to be rescued, and he was all right. And I'm just like, man.
But in that case, they was getting stabbed in the stomach, and they was just like, all right, I'm good. You was just stabbed 10 minutes ago.
Okay, yes. The guy, the one of the core four, as they call it, was like double team stabbed multiple times.
I knew he was dead.
Yeah,
I knew he was dead.
And then they played it like he was, and then boom.
But at the same time, like I told you, the same thing happened to him in 5. In 5,
he died twice, bro.
Man, he literally got stabbed up just like that in 5. Like he literally like the killer snuck up on him and stabbed him a few times. And at the very end, he was in the ambulance, and they was like, "Oh shit, he survived." Same thing in this one, but except that he was double teamed and stabbed just left and right. Then nope, still.
This guy can't die. You're like, man, you should go on some reality show.
Now the sister, on the other hand, her case, what injuries did she suffer? Major? I think she did suffer.
She got stabbed once in the arm the first time.
I'm talking about in 5.
Oh, 5
I think she did get stabbed a couple of times in 5, but in this one, you know, she took them couple stabs to the gut, and it was like, oh shit, that could be fatal.
Yeah, like he stabbed her once or twice, or I think 3 times.
Yeah, it was like twice. It was like twice.
Oh, what sucks was the one of the throwaway character, or one of the side characters, was her girlfriend. And
man, to this day, it's the same day. I feel bad for her.
That was a really horrible
because she got damn near gutted to where her insides was almost coming out.
Yeah, because he went in and up.
It's in and up, and then when she tried to climb that ladder, when she tried to cross that ladder, he flipped it, and it wasn't the fact that she fell; she hit that dumpster.
Half her face was like
swole. It was done.
Or like, bro, and I was gut. I enjoyed that scene. It was gut wrenching, but good. Yes.
Any other notes you got?
Honestly, yeah, pretty basically.
Yeah, like I said.
I don't know why I was at first when I was watching the movies, I was disappointed that the main guy survived again. But then I realized, wait, that is Scream movies though. A lot of time.
I mean, if you're looking at it, he replaced Dewey. Because if you remember, especially in the first 2, especially in the second one, Dewey got beat the fuck up in the second one.
He did. Oh, he did.
Because it was like, what, radio station or something like that? Yes. And he got like severely, so he's almost like the new Dewey, to where he could take a beating.
They have that one character that's like tough as nails, and it's like
he could just take a beating and keep on ticking. I kind of want to know what they're gonna do with 7, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna make a 7. I'm pretty sure this one's gonna make enough, and they're gonna make a 7. And I kind of want to know what's the idea of 7.
Man,
because we still got the core 4.
Yeah,
still got the core 4. So
they went with the first character. They went all the way to 4, right? with the first four characters. No, even five. She
Well,
was in there.
4. So 4 was kind of a weird reboot S2 because that's when Kirby came in 4, and we thought she died in 4, where she got stabbed up, but she lived. So,
and you know how they tell it? Literally, they were just sites on YouTube, and literally on the corner it says she survived, and that's the only way that we showed that she survived.
So so she got pretty messed up, and then in 4, what was pissing me off in 4, it was like, y'all letting these frail ass people kill y'all this way. Y'all don't do something about this, but
oh man.
But it'll be interesting to see what they do in 7, because with us still having 4, the core 4, Gale is still alive, Kirby is still alive.
Yeah, they all
maybe they could try to negotiate something and possibly get Nev Campbell, which the controversy of her not being in this one, it's fine because she wasn't really needed. Like Sydney wasn't really needed to the story. I can see about Gale because Gale is a nosy ass reporter.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how they're gonna keep doing this. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, because of her injuries, she was like,
I'm gonna stay away now.
Yeah, stay away, like recover maybe for one movie. But,
shit, I don't know, because she took a beating in 5 and she still came back. So, and remember, in continuity's sake, literally this movie took place 1 year. So Scream 5 was 2022, Scream 6 is 2023. So you would think Gale would stay the fuck away, but nope.
And she was the disliked character at first. Like, she was the one who was super intrusive about getting her story, doing whatever it takes, and then she's just slowly become this beloved character because they've just been through so much.
Like Gale Weathers, we know. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Honestly, I think that covers all the points that I had. But literally,
spoiler field review of Scream 6. Like I said, check it out. I personally give it a 9 out of no, as I said it, I give it 9 Ghostface masks out of 10.
I agree. That was a lot of most fun I've had in a horror movie, because most of them,
hopefully
cliches.
Hopefully you are watching this video if you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Don't watch this video if you hadn't, because like I said, we gave it all away. But I enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoyed it enough to where I can ignore my nitpicks and gripes.
The therapy, but yeah, it's part of the story narrative. I get it.
I can say I enjoyed it enough to where I can ignore that. But yeah, overall, Scream 6, go check it out.
They gave him an indecent death through the nose.
Yep, just
through the brain.
Wow, just done.
That's my last comment. Okay.
Done. But until next time, beautiful people, Scootaloo, Sweet Disaster. Shout outs to Cosmic Boss, Run Your Miss. Until next time, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Peace. It won't end.